Welcome to the 2013 KVIE Art Auction, celebrating 32 years of visual arts in our region. More than 250 pieces will be auctioned off to the highest bidder, and you can be a part of the action by watching and bidding on your favorite pieces. View the entire collection online at kvie.org/art auction. Then, when your favorite item appears, call 1-800-270-6601 to place your bid. You can also interact live with the auction team on Twitter using hashtag KVIE Arts. Remember to bid high and bid often. And now, let the auction begin. Sold.
Hello, I'm David Lowe, KVIE's President and General Manager, and I'd like to welcome you to the 2013 KVIE Art Auction, our 32nd annual celebration of the visual arts of Northern California. Tonight, we kick off a 3-day live auction of over 250 pieces of art, generously donated by local artists. And now, take a quick look at how you can be a part of the excitement by calling in and placing bids on your favorite items.
It's easy to bid on items featured in the art auction. Here's how. Explore the collection online at kvie.org/art auction. Make note of the date and time your favorite artwork comes up for bid, or stay tuned. When a piece of art catches your eye, quickly call 1-800-270-6601 and a volunteer will assist you. Most items will be sold in less than 7 minutes. Bid high and bid often so you don't miss any of your favorite items. Stay tuned for the California's Gold category coming up next on the KVIE Art Auction. Juried by Pat Mahoney, this category celebrates the beauty of California landscapes in all media. View all of the categories featured in this year's auction at kvie.org/art auction. Bid high and bid often.
And we're ready to go. This portion of KVIE's Art Auction is presented by the Sacramento Bee. We want to thank the Sacramento Bee for supporting public television and art in the Central Valley. We very much appreciate their support. And now we're going to quickly introduce the pieces of art up for bid in this half hour. Item number 1A is Owens River Sunrise, and this is by Jack McBride, and it's photography, and it's framed by Skyline One Framing. This is a Juror Award winner in our California's Gold category, retail value of $500, and you can see we're going to have an opening bid that hopefully will be yours. Item number 1B, moving on, is going to be Birds on Bodega Bay by artist Nina Thompson, and this is also a pastel measuring 16 by 20, as you can see right there on your screen. That's going to be consistent all throughout our art auction. Also framed by Skyline One Framing, has a retail value of $500 and is waiting for your bid. Go ahead and call in right now if you see you'd like to get in on the action, but we're going to talk about all these pieces all throughout the half hour before we close them out. Item number 1C, moving on, is Sacramento Scene. This is by Keith Bachman. It's oil on canvas, and this is 24 by 48 and has a retail value of $900. Couple more pieces here, or actually 3 more in this category. Item number 1D is Memorial Auditorium. It's a photograph by the artist David Robertson, also framed by Skyline One Framing, has a retail value of $400, and we'll be getting back to that in a few minutes. 2 more pieces here that we want to introduce you to. Item number 1E is Sacramento River Sunset by Ken Waterstreet. It's acrylic on canvas measuring 13 inches by 37, and this has an artist stated value of $2,000, and let that opening bid be yours in just a few minutes. And the final piece in this half-hour collection is Brother Oaks by Douglas Parks. It's a photograph measuring 16 inches by 24, also framed by Skyline One Framing, retail value of $135, and that's part of our California's Gold category here in this first half hour. And joining us tonight is our art auction curator, Dee Neath. Dee is a part of the KVIE staff. She is the only art curator of a PBS station, and she is one of the founders of Second Saturday. She's also the owner of Archival Framing here in Sacramento. Now, Dee, tell us about this exciting collection that you have assembled for all of our viewers this year.
Thank you. I am thrilled to be here this year. The collection is bigger and better than ever. It was a sad year for PBS with the passing of Fuhlhauser, but quite a few of our artists stepped up and did pieces, especially in his memory. So this year, our California Gold segment is very strong, and that's what we're going to start out with tonight.
Well, Huell loved California. We loved him. We absolutely miss him, but we can celebrate California with some of these pieces, and one of you at home is going to be able to get this right here. Tell us a little bit more about it.
This piece is by Jack McBride. It's called Owen River Sunrise. This was an award winner in our photography category. We had a really tough juror this year, our own Martin Christians from KVIE. So he had a lot of hard decisions to make. It's a beautiful color photo. It's been enhanced. You can see all the pinks and the greens in there. It's a rather large piece. It's 30 by 40, and it's a limited edition of just 10. So there's not many out there.
Well, it's a gorgeous photograph, and we're looking for an opening bid of just $150. That gets you in on the action, and we're looking for multiple people, of course, to call in. It's really simple. All you need is a credit card, and it gets you in on the bidding. If you see something that you like during this 3-day art auction, you can't sit on the sidelines. You can't wait. You've got to call now, because most of these pieces will go within about 5 to 7 minutes.
Yep, fast, fast, fast. And this particular piece was framed by Skyline One, who did all of the framing in this upcoming segment. The artists donate their works 100%, as do the frame shops. So every bit you spend on this piece, you get a beautiful piece of art, and it all goes to PBS.
Well, someone's going to be really happy, because starting as early as tomorrow, the winning bidder is going to be able to come in and do what we call pick up and pay. So they pay for the piece of art that they generously bid on, and they can take it home. So if you're envisioning right now where this piece is going to go in your home, then don't let it slip by. You want to pick up the phone, 1-800-270-6601. It's so easy. We've got some friendly phone. See them? Look, they're so friendly, and they're waiting for your call. And all you have to do is put them to work, 1-800-270-6601, and tell them, I want to start the bidding with a $150 bid, well below the artist state of
Yeah, $150 is well below. This is a beautiful piece either at home or in your office. It's framed, it's ready to go. You can pick it up tomorrow morning and redo your dining room tomorrow night.
Well, the art of our region, it's always been my favorite, so I'm happy to be the host for this hour. And you know, I'd love this piece, but I can't bid on it because I'm right here. But anyone else at home, you and I are the only ones who can't bid on this.
I know. And Jack McBride's been a professional photographer for over 30 years. So this is not a newcomer artist. This is a solid price on this piece. It's well worth $500. Jack's shown all over this area. Recently, this piece was exhibited at the Gallo Arts Center in Modesto. And he's also going to be the featured artist in September and October at the Highlight Gallery in Mendocino.
And we have a bid of $150, so we want to see the next bid come in at $200. And as we mentioned, this is a juror award. All of the art pieces that we have that were entered into this juror competition, and then some of them are award winners, and this is
There's only 16 of the pieces out of the 240 that are award winners. So this is one of the 16. It's fresh out of a gallery. This is a major artist. He's been exhibiting in this area for years, and this is a great price for.
Well, we have $175 right now as a bid, so we want to see that move up. We'd like to see it at $50 increments, and we are asking then the next caller to come in and say, yes, I love this piece, $225 is what I'm going to bid. All of the money that comes in during this 3-day art auction supports KVIE and helps us with all of the programs that you love, that you see all throughout the year. Call right now. Don't miss out on this. We have a bid of $200. I see some people are doing things on their own.
I think
that happens.
The minimum bid on this, the price on that is for the piece alone, not including the framing. So even at $500, it's an excellent buy. He's a well-collected photographer. There are only 10 of these images available, so we were really honored to get this one.
Limited edition, and we're gonna check in for the very first time in the phone bank. We're gonna check in with Heath Buckmaster.
I'm here. David Lowe is going to bookend the auction this weekend, but I'm going to be here all 32 hours in the middle, so you're going to get to see a lot of me. The way that you can get involved and make these volunteers get to work is by picking up the phone. Call 1-800-270-6601, just like that person did, and be a part of the KVIE Art Auction. Over 250 beautiful works of art are up for bid this weekend from Northern California artists. You can help celebrate the arts of our region and do a great thing for public television by calling now. And I want to give a special thank you to California Love Truck. They provided the food complimentary to our crew and staff tonight so that we could be here all night long to make sure that you get a great auction experience. And now I think it's time to head back over to David and Dee. Take it away.
So Dee and I have moved on to another piece. This is how it works. This is a last person standing auction. We may move on to another piece, but the bidding may still go on because there's people kind of duking it out, for lack of a better phrase there. But then when the last person says, I'm out, then someone wins. And we'll try to report back to you and let you know, because a lot of people, it's kind of like Antiques Roadshow. How much was it worth? How much did it go for? We'll try to let you know. But now we've moved on to item number 1B. This is Birds on Bodega Bay, and this is by Nina Thompson. Dee, tell us a little bit more about it.
It's a pastel on paper. Again, it's been beautifully framed by Skyline. Nina Thompson has been in the KVIE auction before. In 2012, she won a Jurors Award in the California Gold category. This piece was done plein air, which means the artist actually stood where this was painted and composed the whole piece outdoors while she was there, which is kind of difficult to do with pastel. And it is Bodega Bay, one of my favorite places, you know, where the birds were filmed. It's got the beautiful trees in the background. It's got a little bit of the water coming in. They've done a really nice job with a double mat and a really simple wood frame. Nina's pastels have always done really well here at the auction. This one's got a retail price of $500, and I think that we could go much higher than that on this one. It was inspired by the birds in the marsh along Dorian Beach Road, which is in Bodega Bay. It's kind of a real peaceful, serene place, and I think she really carries that over in this piece.
And we have a bid right now of $150, and we're looking to come up in $50 increments. So if you want to get in on the action, that's just $200. We'll get you in, still well below that value, but we want what's called a bell ringer, Dee. And remember what a bell ringer is.
That's right. A bell ringer is when it goes up above the retail price. It hasn't been that long.
And that is going to happen. This is a lovely piece right now. A bid of $150 is the high bid right now. We're looking for $200. Let's check in with Heath.
Heath.
Does Heath know he's ready? I think so.
Yeah. He's always ready. Meanwhile,
I'm always ready. So I'm here behind Tracy and Tim, and their phones aren't ringing, which means you're not on the phone placing a bid on a beautiful piece of art in the auction. So now's the time to get involved, and the way you do that is to pick up your phone, call 1-800-270-6601. It makes these phones ring, and then tell the volunteer how much you want to bid on a beautiful piece of art. They will take your phone number, your name and address information. That's all we need to get the bidding going, and then we'll have an auction. And hopefully you're going to win and be able to take home a beautiful piece of art this weekend. Now let's head back over to David and Dee.
Well, it's a beautiful pastel, as we're going to see. There we go. We wanted to stop seeing Heath there for a minute so we could show you this beautiful pastel painting. $150 is the current bid. Call right now, 1-800-270-6601, and say 200 is the bid that I want.
it's a beautiful piece of Bodega Bay. Bodega Bay has a little piece of my heart. My husband's family is from around that area, and we travel there a lot. Art's a great way to say thank you or give somebody a beautiful personal gift. If Bodega Bay is important in your family, if you have a second home up in that area, this would be a lovely thing to add to it. Or if you just need a really nice piece to meditate on when you're at work and you want to get away.
Well, like you said, I mean, this is a chance for you to get something for yourself or for a loved one. You know, the holidays are coming up, and it's not too soon to get in on that. You know someone who loves Bodega Bay. Maybe you love Bodega Bay, and if this takes you to a place that you'd love to be able to go kind of in your mind, then it's pretty accessible right now with a bid of $150. $200 is going to get you in on the action.
And it is a pastel. It is the only one. It is not a poster. It is not a print. It's time to put original art on your wall, and at that price, it's a really easy price point to start your collection. She's a very collected artist. You can see why. There's quite a bit of skill that went into the layering of the pastel back here in the tree area. She's got all kinds of wonderful colors up here in the grasses. You can see that right under that phone number, right here in the grasses. There's layer on layer of pastel. And remember, she did this plein air, which means, you know, she did it standing out there at this site, which she kind of really captures in her work.
Well, and this is beautiful because if you have an HD set, you're seeing what this looks like. It's just, the cameras are picking this up great. If you don't have a high definition set, then I got to tell you, it's even better than what you're seeing. But if you have HD TV, it's great. And now we're going to follow. There we go. Look, we're still on. We're showing.
There I am in the
There
little
we
box.
go. And now we're moving on to item number 1C, and this is titled Sacramento Scene, and has a retail value of $900. We have a high bid of $250, and we're looking now for $300 to get in the action. Tell us a little bit more about
this.
This
Is Keith Bachman. We love Keith Bachman here at the KVIE Art Auction. He won a Best of Show last year, I believe, with a scene of the Grand Canyon. And this one is just as bright and colorful and wonderful. It's got a beautiful Sacramento skyline. It's got our great blue river. You've got, you know, our little paddle boats out there in old Sacramento.
One of our favorite bridges.
I know, one of our favorite bridges right there. Big Sacramento landmark. What a great piece for your office, or a stunning piece as you walk into anybody's home. It's got a retail value of $900, and it is a good size piece, so it would be a major focal point in your home.
So look at that blank wall in your home right now, or look at what you might be able to take down, right? Because this is worthy of going up in front of something else. And again, so accessible right now with the bid of just $250 is the high bid. We're looking for a bid of $300, and that will put you at the top. And then we'll have what's called an auction, because there'll be multiple people bidding. That's how it works.
Keith is a professional artist. Most of the artists here in the auction are. He shows with the Pence Gallery, and he also shows at Blue Line in Roseville. So, you know, you're getting a chance to buy gallery quality oil and support PBS at the same time. And these artists this year gave us some of their best work. Best work, especially Keith. So this needs to find a really good home, and I am not hearing the phones.
Well, I know it's going to go to someone. Right now, $300 gets you in on the action. So call right now, 1-800-270-6601. Have a major credit card handy. And now we're going to check in with Heath.
Tessa?
Hi there. All right.
Information for a new bidder, but I don't know, she may not have saved the prices.
Yeah, Pat just did the same.
Oh, that's fine. It's just the top two.
So we're looking for you to come in with a $400. The way you do that is call 1-800-270-6601. Plenty of phone lines open, so now is the time to do it if you want to get that piece. 1B is also open, bid of $150.
All right, and we still have those pieces open. That's great news. If you were kind of thinking about it and you said, hey, wonder if I should, the answer is yes, you should.
They're calling right now.
Exactly. Now, back to our Sacramento scene here.
Keith Bachman, our favorite guy.
You say that to all the artists.
No, you know, he was so gracious when he won Best of Show last year. You know, he's a very humble artist. He has studied with Condos and Larry Weldon, who are masters here in the area. He's probably been painting and showing his work, I'd say about 20, 25 years. So, you know, he's an established artist. This is a great piece to start a collection or add to a collection.
Well, and it really is going to capture a moment in time for Sacramento, because good things are happening in this city. And we're going to see that skyline change. I know it, because there's going to be some revitalization. We might see some other things happen. So
big old arena
capture
going on.
this. It's a moment in time of the city that we all know and love and share together. Call right now, 1-800-270-6601. This piece is still open, but it's going to close very quickly. But we need to move on to another piece and another Sacramento landmark, and a view that some people, if they haven't been inside in a while, might not remember, because it's not the outside of the Memorial Auditorium, it's the inside. Tell us a little bit more about this piece.
This piece is 1D. It's by David Robertson. It's a photograph, and it is called Memorial Auditorium. It's got a retail price of $400, and it's a 16 by 20 print matted up to 24 by 28. It was inspired by the strength and the majesty of the staircase, and I mean, come on, We've all been to graduation in this building, or we've
Or a
graduated
concert, or
in this building.
boxing matches way back
Yeah,
when.
it's one of Sacramento's distinct pieces of architecture. This was also a favorite with the juror in the photography category this year. There's a lot of light in this photo. It's just a beautiful, warm piece of Sacramento history.
And it has a value of $400, and we're going to start the bidding at $120. That is your opportunity to get in on the action. And again, this is another of the pieces that was framed by Skyline One Framing, who did a fabulous job for us in the California's Gold collection.
Yes, they did. It's a signed and numbered print. There's very few of them. Again, a professional artist. Shows with the Blue Line Gallery in Roseville. Instead of buying it in a gallery, you can buy it here tonight in our gallery and help support PBS.
Well, like you said, we know we have so many people who have been to the Memorial Auditorium over the years for whatever reason, and getting that kind of different view of something, I think, through the artist's eye, I always enjoy that. It's not the typical view. If you said, hey, I've got a picture of the Memorial Auditorium, you'd think, oh, it's the head-on view, but this isn't. This is inside of one of the stairwells, and you can really just, hey, do you know what that means?
First bell ringer!
It's a bell ringer, and it's for one of them, but I think they're probably going to want Heath to talk about that, so we can come back to that. But Memorial Auditorium does have a high bid right now of $120. We want to see that move up in $25 increments, so it's a pretty accessible piece. Art can be accessible.
Yeah, and if you know somebody that's recently moved out of the area, what a beautiful piece to give them as a gift so they can remember some of Sacramento's most stunning architecture. And it'd be gorgeous in an office as well as in a home.
All right, so I heard from our producer that they were just testing the bell. They were just testing to see
They're
what it
taunting
sounds
us.
like should someone come in and bid at the retail value, and that's what we want to see. And look, here's how it works. If you are so generous and able to be so generous that you donate more than the retail value, that's an extra donation to KVIE, and we're going to put it to good work. So don't let that be a stopping point. Let it be a starting point. 1-800-270-6601.
And you can start with this piece right here. Photography is a great way to start a collection. I have quite a bit of photography in my collection. This is done, again, like I said, a professional artist, David Robertson. He's been showing in the area for years. You could walk into a gallery and pay $500 for this. You could pick it up right now for $200.
Well, you could, but we don't necessarily want that to happen. And for 3 days, this is the region's largest gallery, so they could call into this gallery and get it for maybe $400.
Yeah.
But
And
while you think about that right now, just know that we're not going to wait for a long time. We need people to call in at 1-800-270-6601, because if you wait for too long, kind of like trying to wait and time an eBay auction, it may slip out from underneath you and it may have already been closed. So if you do want a piece, you need to move quickly. Go ahead and call in, and 1-800-270-6601. Now, we are moving on to item number 1E. This is Sacramento River Sunset. You can see it has a retail value there of $2,000. An opening bid awaits, and we are looking for a starting bid of $600. And you know what? It's going to happen, Dee. You know why? Well, you're going to tell us why.
I'm going to tell you why, because this is a Ken Waterstreet. That's why. Ken Waterstreet is a painter that's been here in Sacramento for a long time. He taught at Encina High School for over 30 years. This is not a photograph. Let me get that out there.
It looks like it at times, right?
Yeah, and it is an oil on canvas. It's a beautiful sunset here on one of our beloved rivers. Ken is an avid fly fisherman, so he drinks in this kind of scenery all the time. Ken has shown in New York. He's shown locally here with Solomon Dubnik and the City Gallery. He's widely collected, and he is one of our California masters this year.
Well, and there were a lot of people looking at this piece at our art auction preview party. We should mention a little bit about that. Before our art auction goes on air, we always have this preview party that the public is invited to, and we had about 700 people attend, and this was definitely a piece that was talked about quite a bit. So I imagine someone who saw it there is going to be calling in right now.
Well, and Ken has collectors all over the United States. Remember, you can watch us online. so you don't have to be here in Sacramento to bid. It was very generous of him to give us such a large work. Ken doesn't usually work this large on his water pieces. Again, he's one of our California masters, which is the top echelon of the art that we're selling tonight, and this is a really stunning example of his work.
And again, I mean, it's really going to be the focal point of a wall. So quickly look around or imagine the wall that you have in your office or in a loved one's home and think, where would that piece go? But
My
don't
house.
think about it for too long. Well, you can bid on it and buy it for D if you'd like.
Yes, I can't buy it, but you could buy it from me.
Right, and then KVIE still wins because
That's
we
right.
get the money to put towards our operating budget, which is great. Brings you programs that you love all throughout the year. Retail value of $2,000, well below that right now with the starting bid we just need of $600.
And when Ken donated this piece to PBS, he donated it to us so we would get that $2,000 price.
And that's something that we love. And someone else we love, Heath Buckmaster, we're going to check in.
Oh, I love this piece from Ken Water Street, and you will too when you have it on the wall of your home as part of your collection. The way you do that is call 1-800-270-6601. Talk to one of these great volunteers. They're here doing their part to make sure that you get a great auction experience, but you've got to make it happen. You've got to pick up the phone and call the number on your screen and get in on the auction action. How do you do that? You call the number. And if you want to interact with us in a different way, you can tweet to us. You see right over here down the lower left, hashtag KVIE Arts. We'll be on there all night long. You can ask us questions about the art if you'd like to, or just let us know how much fun you're having. And if you're out there having a viewing party, we'd like to hear about it too. So make sure you post on the KVIE Facebook page or send us a tweet and let us know that you and your friends are enjoying the auction. And now let's head back over to David and Dee.
So do you know one of the things I love? I love that some of the local artists who give us these pieces so generously have also been in some other galleries, sometimes museums, Dee.
Definitely this one. Ken has shown here locally at the Crocker Art Museum. He has shown in New York. He was with the gallery in San Francisco for years. He is nationally collected.
And we have a bid right now you can see of $650. This is great. We're going to go up in $50 increments as we work towards getting the retail value of $2,000. So if you want in on that, call right now and say, I'm bidding $700.
And own a California master. I mean, what a gorgeous piece. And you know, what a beautiful piece of, I should make you say it, California gold.
So what you're telling me, Dee, is you wanted me to say California's gold.
That's what I wanted.
And as you mentioned, it's one of our favorite rivers. It was one of Huell's favorite rivers too. He loved coming to Sacramento, and he's just sorely missed. I love watching him still on Thursday nights on KVIE. He wanted to make sure that we had the programs to air in perpetuity, and he gave us those rights. But we certainly miss him. But this is a great way to honor his memory and share the scenery of the state that we love.
And he was very enthusiastic about the art auction. He joined us year before last, and that's when we came up with the California Gold category.
And he was absolutely honored that we did that. This now, we're moving on. Again, you can still call in on some of those other pieces. Some of them have closed, some are still open, but do call in 1-800-270-6601. But we're going to talk now about item number 1F, Brother Oaks by Douglas Parks. It has a retail value of $130. You can see we already have a bid of $100. We're going to want to move up in $25 increments. Dee, tell us a little bit more.
This is a piece by Douglas Parks. He's been a photographer for over 20 years. Again, as with the other pieces in this segment, it was framed by Skyline One. It's framed, ready to go, ready to hang on your wall. It has a retail price of $135, which I think is kind of low for something that's so beautiful. His inspiration is to showcase a little piece of California heritage. And this is called Brother Oak, and you can see the beautiful oak tree. And I don't know if it's a valley oak or not. My husband's a forester, he would know. But it's just a beautiful little snippet of California landscape, and what a glorious sky he's got behind there.
Just stick with oak and you'll be fine. Maybe someone will tweet and let us know whether or not it's a live oak, a valley oak, or what else. But we have so many oak trees around the region, and if this takes you someplace, what an accessible bid right now at $100. $125 puts you in the lead.
And this is an award winner from the Placerville Arts Show. It took second place in the photography category. So the artist is particularly proud of this piece, and he gave us one of his nicest works for the auction. And we'd like to thank him by selling it for the retail price again,
Right.
which I think is
And he has reason to be proud. It's a beautiful piece. And again, someone already knows that because they bid $100. And they're hoping that you at home don't call in and try to whisk away right now with a bid of $125. But Dee and I would really love to end this first half hour part of the collection with a bell ringer. That would be pretty important. So you know what that means. We need a bid right now of $135. You can do that. You can pick up the phone. These are just guidelines when I provide you a minimum bid. You can say, I want this for $200. Do that right now. You can call 1-800-270-6601.
we still on this. We're still.
I
on
know,
this.
we've got people calling.
I know.
Do we want to, and we're going to check in with someone in the phone bank. Heath.
Well, hello. All right, I'm standing next to this beautiful Kenwater Street, Sacramento River sunset. Folks, the retail value on this piece is $2,000. This is not only California's gold, this is from a California master. And the way that you can be a part of this is doing what that person right there just did and make the phones ring. We have a bid of $900 on this right now. I'm looking for a bid of $1,000. There, we have a bid of this is how fast this auction goes, folks. Don't let these items slip out of your grasp. You don't want to wake up tomorrow morning and think, I really wanted that piece, but I didn't pick up the phone and call. Right now we have a bid of $1,100 on Kenwater Street's piece. We're looking for you to come in with a bid of $1,200 and keep this auction going. Let's go in $100 increments for a California Master as part of our California Gold collection. You don't want to let this piece pass you by, folks. 1-800-270-6601 like that person just did. We've got a bid of $1,100. This is what we want, folks, and that's an auction. We're going to keep this piece open for just a little bit longer, so if you want to bid, now is the time. And now let's head back over to David and Dee.
And we're back with Brother Oaks, and I just love this piece right now. It's the Brother Oaks. I imagine it's those two oaks that are about the same size. They must be brothers, right? We have a high, but it's called Brother Oaks.
I know.
But we do have a high bid of $125. It's just $10 away from a bell ringer. The next person who calls and places a bid, you're going to hear the bell ring.
One of the other things I'd like to bring up is Douglas Parks has a website, douglasparks.com, if you'd like to go see more of his work. You can also go online and preview the work in the auction this year on the KVIE.org website, and you can learn more about the artists. Click on their links and see what they've done and what they're going to offer in this year's auction. It's a great way to educate yourself about Sacramento artists.
Well, we're going to be moving away from this piece, but there's still time. You want to call right now, 1-800-270-6601. And now, stay with us because we have more original art up for bid tonight. But first, here's how to bid.
It's easy to bid on items featured in the art auction. Here's how. Explore the collection online at kvie.org/art auction. Make note of the date and time your favorite artwork comes up for bid, or stay tuned. When a piece of art catches your eye, quickly call 1-800-270-6601 and a volunteer will assist you. Most items will be sold in less than 7 minutes. Bid high and bid often so you don't miss any of your favorite items. Stay tuned for the California's Gold category coming up next on the KVIE Art Auction. Juried by Pat Mahoney, this category celebrates the beauty of California landscapes in all media. View all of the categories featured in this year's auction at kvie.org/art auction. Bid high and bid often.
The Sacramento Bee is proud to support local arts in our community, online, in print, and through the KVIE Art Auction. The Sacramento Bee, connected to our community.
Confirmed bidders can pick up purchases at the KVIE studios tomorrow, Sunday, and even Monday and Tuesday from noon to 5 p.m. Now it's time to introduce the next gallery of art for this 30 minutes that are up for bid, starting with item number 2A, and actually, well, I'm welcoming you back. Hi, Dee.
Hi, David.
All right, I just wanted to follow the script there. All right, so Dee Neath, our art curator, she's back with me. Hi, I'm David Lowe, KVIE's President General Manager. Item number 2A is Cowgirl by Laura Hankey. It's a pastel. It's framed by Skyline One Framing, has a retail value of $350, and we're going to look for you to make that opening bid and call in. Item number 2B, let's introduce you to that one. It's called Wetlands to Sierras by Terry Lev. It's acrylic on canvas, and it has a value of $300. We're going to talk a little bit more, of course, about these pieces in the next few minutes. Item number 2C is Bolinas Lagoon by Bruce Levitt. It's acrylic on canvas and has a value of $800. The last two pieces in this 30-minute collection, the second to last here is 801K View of Midtown. This is Pat Livingston's photograph, and it's been framed by Skyline One Framing. Has a retail value of $550. And then the last piece in our 30-minute collection here is item number 2E. It's Richard Herrera's Century Domes, and this is a watercolor, and it's been framed by Skyline One Framing, has a value of $250. So now you've been introduced to the pieces. You can call in now, but we're going to tell you a little bit more about each piece. Dee, tell us about 2A.
Okay, this sweet little pastel is by Laura Hankey. She won both the People's Choice Award last year and a Jurors Award. She has been a professional artist for about 20 years. She graduated from, got her master's degree from Parsons, so she is quite well educated. She was first inspired to start doing art by a substitute teacher who ran a PBS drawing show during the class. So that's how she got involved in art through PBS. And she's thanking us by donating this beautiful little pastel of a cowgirl with a little cow in the background.
The lovely thing, like you said, it's a small little pastel, but because of the vibrancy and the color, it's really going to take up a lot of space, if that makes sense.
It has a lot of visual impact. A little piece like this with these bright colors on a big wall would not get lost at all.
And of course, it's of our region. We definitely have our agricultural roots here in the Sacramento Valley. And we have a bid right now of $100. You can see that. And we're going to look for increments of $25 to quickly get us to the retail value of $350. And this should get it. The frame alone, what a fabulous job here by Skyline One again.
And she is always a winner in the auction. She has won awards for the last, 3 years, including People's Choice. And the People's Choice Award is chosen by the over 700 people who attend the gala. So that's kind of a tough one to get. She always gives us her best work, and I think in this case, she's really outdone herself.
Well, if it won the People's Choice Award, there's plenty of people out there who can bid.
There you go.
Right? So turn that vote for the People's Choice Award into a bid, 1-800-270-6601. All you need is a major credit card. We'll quickly verify who you are, and then you'll be set up to bid for the entire auction. Right now, it has a high bid of 100. We want to see you come in at only 125.
I know, and what a sweet piece. I mean, if you were a 4-H kid, like I know a lot of people are, I'm from Arkansas, so, I'm kind of a country girl at heart. It's got kind of a really nice, sweet innocence to it. I love the little cow figure in the background. She has, each little part of this piece is incredibly detailed. She hasn't skipped on anything. Even the background's got all kinds of incredible detail. She's layered the pastel. She's not afraid of colors. She's got this pink wash in here with the oranges and the yellows, so it really pops.
And we have a bid right now of $125. We'll be updating that on your screen, but that means $150 to you. We'll get you in on the action and make you a part of the KVIE 2013 Art Auction.
And again, we'd like to say thank you to Skyline One for framing all the things in this hour. They did a beautiful job on this. They chose a really nice, plain, what we call a furniture molding. It's just a clean, nice wood. They boxed the pastel back to keep it away from the glass, which is a nice museum quality frame job. So it's ready to go. You don't have to take it to the framer. You pick it up tomorrow, you hang it on your wall.
And when Dee says we, she knows what she's talking about. Remember, she owns Archival Framing, and she's and so gracious of you as well to talk about other people's great work, because you're doing great work, but other people are too, just like Skyline One is.
They donated over 15 pieces for framing this year, which was well beyond the call of duty, and they're always so good. Well,
a special thanks to them, but we're going to move on to the next piece, but not before we tell you that we already have a bid of $250. That's great. You're responding, but $25 increments on Cowgirl, and there's a chance for you to get it at home. But we're going to move on now to item number 2B, and this is titled Wetlands to Sierras by Terry Lev. It's acrylic on canvas, has a value of $300. We already have a bid of 90. Excuse me. Let's go ahead and round that up to 100. We just need someone to come in at 100, and then we'll move up in $25 increments. Tell us a little bit more about this piece.
This piece is by Terry Lev. It's an acrylic on canvas. It has been painted all the way around the edges, so it is meant to be shown without a frame on it. We'd have to have 6 cameras to do that, so just take it from me. It goes all the way around.
So
the
your
edge.
bid helps us because we have 4. We need 2 more cameras.
We need 2 more
We need
cameras.
a lot more money.
Terry shows all over Sacramento, has shown at the Kennedy Gallery, the Vox Gallery. Again, another professional artist, a younger artist. Since about 2006. Again, what a great Sacramento skyline. Fun to put in your office, bright poppy colors. We've got our little bridge.
We've seen the Tower Bridge again.
Yeah, the Tower Bridge was very popular this year. Doesn't need a frame. It's ready to go home. It's ready to hang on your wall.
And we have a bid of $200, so we're looking at moving up in just $25 increments, 4 more calls, and it's a bell ringer.
There you go. I love that there's a little bird down here. It's kind of got some fun little things going on. I like the fact that the state capitol isn't quite as serious.
Hey, we have a bell ringer. Something tells me they're going to have us check in with Heath in just a couple of minutes on that one. But that's great. We love to hear that. It's a sound we love to hear all throughout the KVIE Art Auction over the next 3 days here.
If you want to learn more about this artist, you can go to opheliasflowers.com. That's his website. But you can pick this up now. Like I said, you can pick up tomorrow, the next day, Monday, Tuesday. Buy it today, pick it up tomorrow. What a great gift for somebody who's moved out of the area and misses our big blue skies and our beautiful little gold bridge.
Why would anyone move out?
I don't know.
Well,
Maybe
we
you
have
get transferred.
Well, that's true. There could be valid reasons. We have a bid of $300. That's great. That means it's met the retail value, but it doesn't mean we stop. We want to keep going until we reach the maximum amount that someone is willing to donate, basically, to KVIE to support us. Right now during the art auction and all throughout the year. If this is the one time that you make your contribution to KVIE, that's great. We have plenty of people who support us through the art auction, and all you have to do is call in and make that bid. Right now we have that bid of $300. We're looking for $325. It's a beautiful piece. It
is a beautiful piece. And when Terry donated this piece, Terry wanted $300 to go to KVIE. Anything
and Terry got it.
Is even better.
So now we're working on the gravy.
So is this our first bell ringer?
I don't know if it's our first bell ringer. You know, Heath might tell us about it. I've heard it could be our second.
Wow.
We're going to find out pretty soon.
In the second half. Just because we've reached the retail price does not mean it's time to stop bidding on this piece. Thank you.
All right, and we've checked in with Heath.
And I want to remind you, our wonderful agricultural region that we are in, you want to get one of these beautiful California gold pieces that will remind you every day of the wonderful place that we live. So right now, item 2A, Cowgirl, that is still up for bid. We've got a couple people in hot bidding on that item, but you can get in on that bidding action by calling the phone number on your screen right now and placing a bid. Right now, it's at $350. All it takes is $375, and you're the new high bidder on that piece. And now, it's time to go back to David and Dee and see if they can get another bell ringer going.
And we are working on that indeed. Well, we've got this bell ringer, but we're not going to move on yet until they tell us. But maybe a couple more things we could say about this piece. Right now, $300 is the bid. $325 puts you in the lead.
And what I like about this piece is it's got the wetlands down here, and then we've got our really great Sacramento skyline. So it's a little bit of the country, and it's a little bit of the city.
I thought you were going to go a little bit of country, a little bit rock and roll.
Oh, Donny Osmond songs. So it's got the best parts of our river city. And again, our favorite little bridge. Can you get a close-up of this little bird? Right?
We're going to try to get the little...
Get my little bird in there. So that's the wetlands portion. There you go. It's a little vignette of a bird down there in the wetlands.
It's really, like you said, it's a fun piece. It's not trying to be too serious, and like you said, the Capitol is a
little
fun.
askew.
Well,
which
and guess who's,
is.
and we know who's back in there, right? Maybe paying some homage back to the days when he was there for the first time.
Hey, he had the best portrait.
All right. Well, now we are going to move to item number 2C, and this is Bolinas Lagoon by the artist Bruce Levitt, and this is acrylic and has a retail value of $800. We have a bid right now of $250, and we're going to move up in $50 increments and try to get as close or better than the 800. Do you tell us a little bit more about the piece?
This is a beautiful acrylic on canvas. It's done in a floated frame with a real gold leaf frame, which is a very traditional way of displaying a landscape. Bruce recently won an award in the painting Where the Wild Things Are, which was a benefit for the river that Maria Winkler juried. So he's an award-winning artist. He's been showing for quite some time at the Art Foundry Gallery and has studied at Sacramento City College. He said he was inspired by the dramatic atmospheric changes in colors of the Bolinas Lagoon. He has many awards of merit, including the California State Fair Fine Arts Show and the Award of Merit from Visions Photography Show. So he's a well-respected artist, and this has a retail price of $800.
And a current bid of $250. We're looking at $300 if you want to be the leader right now, and eventually, hopefully, the person who gets to pick this up starting tomorrow. And hopefully that means, too, you also bid maybe $800 or more.
There you go. What I like about this piece is it's a real classic landscape. I love the way the artist has used texture and brush strokes to put movement into the water and into part of the mountains. The reason it's floated is so we can see that the artist went all the way up to the edge of the painting. You can see he's put the paint on fairly thick. We like to call that painterly. He's very painterly. It's a beautiful piece, and it's well worth the $800, and it would be stunning in any home.
Well, and it looks like we'll be updating what you see on your screen at home, but we do have a bid of $350, so $400 is the next bid that we need to see. If you have not called in yet to place your bid, but you want to, we're looking at $400 for you to be in the lead for Bolinas Lagoon.
And you can pick it up tomorrow.
Pick it up as early as tomorrow, and then so envision where you want to hang it in your home, and then pick it up as early as tomorrow, and we're going to check in with Heath in just a minute. Any second now.
Any second
Maybe
now.
not. And there we go.
And there you go.
Now is the time, folks. We're having a great time here in the phone bank, but we've got a lot of volunteers waiting for your call, waiting for you to get in on the auction action. 1-800-270-6601 is the number to call, and you can be part of the excitement of our 32nd annual art auction. This is a California Gold category, which means you're getting some of the best representations of our region that we live in. What a great part of your collection that you can take home. Don't wait. Now is the time to call. Pick up the phone, give us a call, place a bid on a beautiful piece of art. And now let's head back over to David and Dee.
That's right. We have a current bid of $400. $450 gets you in on the action for this beautiful piece.
And this is, again, a gallery quality painting. You can buy it here at the largest gallery in Northern California.
Well,
for
they're
these
not
3
buying it.
days.
They're winning it, right?
Yeah,
Let's put some competition in here.
Again, it's ready to hang up. It's a beautiful piece. What a nice gift. You know, a wedding gift, a graduation gift, you know, instead of some electronic gizmo that nobody's ever going to use. Support KVIE, purchase a piece of artwork, and start somebody's collection.
Well, I was going to go with the electronic gizmos that they might use, but then they're old and then they throw them away. When this painting gets old, you still love and cherish it.
When this painting gets old, he could be a very famous master by then.
Yeah, that's the whole point
and
of
you
some
could
of the
have made
art,
a
right?
quality investment.
That's right. So we do have a bid of $450 on Bolinas Lagoon. We want to see you coming in at $500, and we're keeping that open, of course, like the other pieces that are still open. But now we're moving on to tell you a little bit more about item number 2D. It's 801K View of Midtown by Pat Livingston. Has a retail value of $550. We're looking for an opening bid of $165. Dee, tell us a little bit more about the piece.
Pat Livingston has been a Sacramento photographer for over 50 years. He's very, very popular in this area. You might recognize some of his aerial shots. It's funny, I was trying to remember where I was. It was either a dentist's office or I was delivering something the other day, and they had a huge one in the lobby. And his work is just gorgeous.
There's something about his where other people take these shots and you go, oh, that's Sacramento. But then you see something like this and you say,
you know
that's
it's
Pat
his.
Livingston.
Yeah, Pat does amazing stuff with the color in the skies. He is also one of the first people to start doing these large panoramics. And He's very good at getting into buildings and getting angles and shots that the general public can't get to. He climbs on top of buildings. I mean, I'm not quite sure where this one was taken from, but it could have been the rooftop of somewhere.
Well, and again, this is an opportunity for you to be able to have a piece in your home that is similar to some of the pieces that are in some of the corporate buildings around town. Pat is very collectible. He's in a lot of the corporate buildings, as you mentioned. And if you wanted, you could put him in your office. You could buy it for your business and take it there, or you can do something special for yourself and keep it at home.
It's a beautiful skyline. His attention to detail, especially here in the clouds. You know, a lot of photographers, you look at every inch of this canvas, every inch of this photo is in focus. You can see this little building just as clearly as you can see this building over here. So that's what always amazes me. He's so good at getting a good, crisp image.
Well, and the frame, once again, is fabulous. It's Skyline 1 framing.
And I kind of like the simple wood frame. It's like you're looking out a window. So if you have an office and you don't have a view, this is what you need in your office.
Dee kind of likes the frame. I really like the frame. Now we're going to check in with Heath.
Oh, you're having too much fun over there, so we're going to have some over here. I'm standing next to this beautiful piece. This is Bolinas Lagoon. Right now we have a bid of $500 on this item. The retail is $800, which means the person who's got that high bid is going to get a beautiful piece of art at a great price. But you know what? I bet you want it too, don't you? 1-800-270-6601 is the number to call. Place a bid of $550 and you'll be the new high bidder on this item, and you can take it. Look at that. $550. All it takes is me asking for what I want. I'd like a bid of $600. You can be the next highest bidder on this item by placing a bid right now. You can see our great volunteers there on the screen. They are ready to take your calls and be a part of the KVIE Art Auction. Now is the time to do it. Look at this beautiful piece of art. Look how great I look next to this beautiful piece of art. You can look great next to this beautiful piece of art when it's in your home tomorrow. The way you do it, place a bid right now, take it home tomorrow. Now back to David and Dee.
Now, Dee, I know there's one person on the phone right now who is just thrilled, hoping that all the phone lines go down and no one else can call. You know why? Because that person called and bid $165. And they saw this piece and they thought, oh my goodness, I sure hope I get it. But of course, we would love, and I'm sure the person on the phone would love for it to go to the retail value of $550 or higher as well.
That's what Pat sells them for.
Well, and you can tell why. I mean, it's a gorgeous piece. You can see how big it is, you know, with you standing there and me way over here.
And one of the things
it's a beautiful piece. Call now.
One of the things I want to point out about this is it's on canvas, which means it doesn't have glass or plexi over it, so there's no shine or any distraction. It has a UV coating on it, so this can go anywhere. You don't have to worry about putting it in a room with a lot of windows where it's going to be hard to see. You can really enjoy the rich, vibrant colors. I mean, it really feels like you're standing on the roof.
And if you have a cubicle or an office that doesn't have any windows, this can be here's your window. And you can act like you're overlooking Sacramento from your high-rise office.
Be the king of all you survey.
Exactly, and right now, very accessible with the high bid of $165, and we're looking at someone coming in at, let's call it $200, and then we can start working away from there. So $200 is the next bid that we're looking for really a gorgeous piece that should not go for anything less than $550.
I know, I'm surprised we don't have people that already own Pat's work.
I'd be calling in now if I wasn't right here. I'm a little disappointed that, otherwise I'd love to be here, but this one time I wish I was at home so I could call in.
We're not allowed to bid. But again, beautiful piece. The detail is incredible. If you're a Sacramento native, you know, what a fun thing to have in your home or your second home.
Or your third. Hey, let's check in with Heath.
Oh, what a beautiful cityscape of Sacramento. If you're not lucky enough to live in a penthouse apartment, that's how you can do it, is bidding on that beautiful item from Pat Livingston, and you can have a wonderful view of Sacramento every single day when you look through your collection. Now's the time to get involved. I'm standing with these great volunteers who are sitting right here and right there. They're ready to take your call. 1-800-270-6601. That's how you get involved and make the phones ring. We're here all night doing our part. Now it's time for you to do your part and support the visual arts of our region. Every single piece that you're seeing tonight was graciously donated by the artist. They don't get a cut of this, which means 100% of the dollars that you spend on this beautiful art go to support the mission of your favorite local PBS station, that's KVIE. And now we're going to head back over to David and Dee to sell the next piece of art.
That's right. This is the final piece in our half hour together, Dee. Other people will come in, but it's not us. So let's go out with a bang here. This is the last piece in our half hour. It's Century Domes by Richard Herrera and has a retail value of $250. And we're looking for an opening bid of just $75. That could be you at home. Dee, tell us a little bit more about the piece.
Richard Herrera has a degree in art from San Francisco State. He's a well-respected artist here in Sacramento. He has a love of mid-century modern architecture, which is pretty evident in this sweet little watercolor. I spent many Saturdays at the Century Theaters over there at Arden, and I'm so glad they're still there. It's nice to own a little piece of Sacramento history. He's done a beautiful job. It's done in watercolor on paper. Again, everything you're seeing tonight is an original. We're not selling prints this year. It was beautifully framed by Skyline One. They put it in a
kind of a distressed?
Yeah, in kind of a nice distressed. They were going with that mid-century modern look. They didn't want anything that was too contemporary. It's got a nice spacer underneath it, which gives the watercolor room to breathe. It's a beautiful little size. It can go just about anywhere. If you're a movie buff, if you've got one of those big fancy, movie viewing rooms, or your man
Well,
cave.
like you said, so many people have gone there to see a movie, and it's really a piece of our architectural heritage of the Sacramento region. And Richard, I think, has captured it quite beautifully, and again at a very accessible price.
And what if it was your first date? What a sweet anniversary or wedding gift, if your first date was the Century Theater. Richard did a whole series of these, and he actually brought them in on the in-person jury day and let me select what I thought was the best one in the series. So that was very nice of him to give up the best one of his Century pieces, and we really need to see his bid get up there.
Well,
to show that respect.
and we've lost, we're not alone in losing something like the Alhambra. Cities, unfortunately, have lost so many of their architectural icons, and we don't know if this is always going to be around, but Richard has preserved it, and it's something that you can have in your home, in your office. Again, very accessible. $75 will get us going on the art auction for this item, and we're going to check in though first before we talk more about it with Heath.
We're coming to me. 801K, view of Midtown. I'm standing next to this beautiful piece from Pat Livingston. I know you want this in your home. Well, the way you do it is you call the number on your screen. Right now we have a high bid of $165, but you can come in with a bid of $200, and now you're the high bidder and you can take this piece home. Just a reminder that if you do bid and win any of the pieces tonight, you can pick them up as early as tomorrow at noon, which means that if you found a lovely piece that you want in your collection, it's less than 12 hours away and you can bring it home and display it proudly in your home. Make our volunteers get the job done tonight by making the phones ring. 1-800-270-6601 is the number to call. Now let's head back.
And we're back. Century Domes gets you, you can get a starting bid, just $75. All you have to do, pick up the phone, 1-800-270-6601, have a major credit card handy, and you can be the first bidder on here, and then hopefully the second bidder is right behind you.
And the artist, Richard Herrera, has shown all over Sacramento. Like I said, he's done murals. So he is a very well-known artist. He takes his work very seriously. He does sketch plein air, which means this was actually drawn probably from the Century parking lot. I like the fact that it's not dated. It could be very vintage, or it could have been done last year. He didn't put the marquee in with the movie or anything like that on it.
Right.
It's just a beautiful rendition of that building.
And that's why I think it's important that, like you said, maybe someone out there went there on their first date and now they're married. This could be, like you said, a beautiful anniversary gift. The holidays are coming. We know lots of people have gone to see movies there. So
It's
if
a
you're one of
sweet
them,
little rendition.
call right now and get some of the art of the region. You know what? I missed it. There's a $250 bid. Is that a bell ringer? I didn't hear anything.
Nobody tells us anything.
I know. They just expect us to look and see. No one's ringing a bell, but we do have $250. That's fabulous. And now we want to see that move up
Thank
in
you,
$25 increments. And
Thank
then,
you,
of course,
Richard Herrera.
you can be taking this home as early as tomorrow. But thank you for calling in. Hopefully it is someone who loves the Century domes as much as Richard does.
And thank you, Richard, for your donation. All of the artists tonight donated their pieces 100%, as did the frame shops. So we're just asking that you make that retail price and make their donation what they wanted it to be.
Well, and we absolutely wanted to end with a bell ringer, so this is great. We're going to be moving on, though. What an exciting way to start the KVIE Art Auction. Stay with us tonight, because we have so much more original art coming up for you to bid on and buy during the KVIE Art Auction.